Hi, my name's Abby, this is my dad, and this is my sister Rebecca. Today on Cooking with Abby, we're gonna make scones.
Yummy blueberry scones, regular scones. We went on a trip to go visit their grandfather, my father, in Victoria. It was a delightful trip. And while we were there, I was having an off day, but what picked me up was we found this wonderful little cafe, and in that cafe, we all had scones. And from that day on, I think it's your favorite breakfast.
It is my favorite.
I think
breakfast.
I get requests for scones, pancakes. Actually,
toast.
French
French
toast.
toast
I rarely
also.
get requests for French
Yeah.
toast, but
Casserole.
scones.
The
French toast casserole that you always
Yeah.
ask for too late. So
Yeah.
scones are our number one favorite. They look beautiful. They taste amazing. They smell gorgeous. Blueberry, chocolate chip, all kinds of variations that you can make. And I would say, Rebecca even commented, really quick, really easy to make, that no one should be intimidated to make these. I think everybody should go for it. There's no yeast in it, so if you're short on yeast, no problem. You do need flour. All right, shall we get started?
Yeah,
Where can they find the ingredients?
here or at cookingwithabby.com.
Beautiful. What did you want to add?
And you can make them in different shapes.
Absolutely, we'll get to shapes in a moment. Let's get ready. We're putting our ingredients in our food processor, our sugar, our flour, our baking, which one? Baking powder. I always mix up baking powder, baking soda, and some salt. We're using our fancy pants, hardcore jet engine food processor here. You don't even need a food processor, though it really does make everything a lot easier. So I would highly recommend it. You obviously don't need this crazy one. But what we're trying to do here is break down our cold butter and turn it into kind of like cornmeal or a nice little soft consistency. I'm gonna get in here and touch that because those blades, crazy sharp. Cut your fingers off.
So how many?
All the butter. Abs, you can help too, I think. We're trying to just splash our cold butter in here. Cold butter, not room temperature, not melted, cold. We want to keep the butter together and break it out so that it's all incorporated throughout the flour as cold pieces, so that way when our yummy scones bake, the butter is everywhere. You got skinned out on the flour here.
Yeah, can I like put my hand in there? And
No.
No? Okay.
Cap on,
Cap on.
and we're gonna pulse for a couple of seconds here. Gotta line up those arrows.
Where's the arrow?
Not that way.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. And we're gonna pulse up a little bit
There's
here.
a hole there.
Yep.
Here.
So that should just be, yep. Maybe you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit it for one more second on like super fast here. That's it, we're done. We're gonna transfer this into a bigger bowl, we're gonna add our wet ingredients, and then we're gonna start forming these. Sound good?
Yep.
Well, that didn't take very long, and as Rebecca said when she looked at the flour, you can't even really see the butter, and you truly can't, but there's a nice amount of little tiny pieces of butter all throughout our flour. Abby's gonna fold in some lemon zest. I guess technically the lemon zest is kind of optional, I don't know. I always taste it when I eat these,
I don't taste that.
but if you don't have lemon zest,
Or this.
you're okay.
Do I mix it with this? Or
Yep, mix it in with that. And then we're gonna add our wet ingredients. Now we're gonna do half of our batch with blueberries because we all like blueberries. I think as I look at the amount of blueberries we have there, that might be too many, but that's good. You can also use other fruits. What else have we done?
Strawberries?
I think we've done strawberries. I think
Oranges, like maybe.
I don't think we've done oranges.
No, we haven't. but
Can you put chocolate
yeah.
chips in it?
I think
Like-
we've done chocolate chips.
Right?
But plain is pretty good because they're a great vehicle for different jams. Abby, you're not Abby. Are you Abby? Oh no, don't tell her I got some flour on her back. Can you pour that milk in?
Yep.
Hold on, you know what we should do? Let's make a little well in the middle.
Okay, and I'll put it.
Do you know what that well does?
The milk will.
Nothing, it's just really fun. And you can put in the vanilla.
I'll put it in this well.
No, put it in with the milk. All the milk. Don't be cheap. Now, because we could have mixed that together in the bowl first. This way we just mix them here together. Fewer dishes. Now fold that in. We're gonna finish mixing this up, and then we're gonna come to the fun part of forming these into yummy, scrunchy cones.
That was pretty quick.
They're not
They're
scrunchy.
They're pretty dry. Mixing with a spatula is fantastic, but at the end you want to bring in those little bits of flour that are left over. You want to work them into the dough. You don't want to work the dough too much. If you feel that you've played with it for, how long did we play with it? Maybe 3-4 minutes? If you feel like you played with it for longer, good idea to put it back in the fridge to let that butter harden up again. We folded blueberries into half of them. Kind of go with the flow, right? As how many blueberries you want to add, how many you don't. Forming our scones. The ones that we had in Victoria were large and they were very triangular. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, but they were big.
I thought they were
They were big.
like burger buns.
They looked a bit like burger buns. Now, you have the total freedom to do whatever you want here. The only thing is, if you make them big, obviously they're gonna have to cook for longer. If you make them smaller, keep an eye on them not to overbake. Two schools of thought. We can cut them into triangles, we can roll them into little balls, you can kind of have puffy scones, or you can have wedge scones.
What are wedge scones?
Wedge scones? I'm glad you asked. Let me go ahead and make them. So I'm taking my dough here.
Okay.
You can parchment this, you can do all kinds of stuff to your cookie sheet here. At the end of the day, there's enough butter in here that you don't really need to do anything. So just with my hands, kind of forming a disc. Again, you know, you can cut this in half and do it smaller if you want. I wouldn't add extra flour, but if it's really gooey, your dough, right, because it all depends on that measuring of the flour. Yeah, you can add a little bit of dough to your surface. I'm just going to cut them into squares here. And these are going to be our scones.
Pizza.
Totally.
You could put like fake pepperoni on them.
We could. How about you
Candy.
put those on the scone sheet? Now they are going to grow in the oven, so keep that in mind. Abby, you're going to smush that one out so it's the same as that one. And what I'm going to do first is just take off a little bit here to show people. If you want, you can kind of roll them into little dough balls and put them on there as well. You know what I would do here?
This one's sticky.
So again, they are going to grow a little bit, so keep that in mind. Don't overcrowd them on your sheet. If you need to use 2 cookie sheets, use 2 baking sheets. Baking sheet or cookie sheet?
Same thing.
Well, no, not right now. We're not making cookies, so it's really a baking sheet right now. And we're definitely going to need another one. So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to form our blueberry ones. We're going to get them in the oven. What temperature do you think the oven should be?
350?
350 is an excellent default. These are a little warmer. These are 400. Because we're making them pretty small, I would say really check them after 15 minutes because the last thing you want is burnt scones. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that part we look for the whole time when we make these shows. It's the time where we get to
Eat!
Yay! All right, so we are, for the sake of simplicity, we're just gonna do a little bit of butter on ours. And we rehearsed who was getting which, and I can't remember, so I think we're gonna go with that. We're eating the weird little orphan ones. These guys are eating the blueberry ones first. I'm gonna eat the non-blueberries.
Thank you.
And we have somebody waiting in the wings. So
Mama!
I'm gonna split this one in half, and I'm gonna give Mama the other half of this. Anytime now, Mama. So, ladies, fancy, you gotta scoot in, Mom. Scoochy, scoochy.
Ooh, thank you.
Bon appetit. Cheers. You guys already ate without us. That's rude.
I was gonna
Sorry.
ask, but they're still good. So.
I love scones.
They're so good.
They're so good.
So good. Jam, amazing. Raspberry, strawberry, whatever your
Blueberry.
jam flavor is. Again, like one of our favorite breakfasts. So good. Definitely make them. Yeah, Cooking with Abby. All the recipe details. And I guess we'll see you 6 weeks from now.
No, next week.
Next.
Oh, bye everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.
And we're out.
They're so good.
Peace.
Who wants more scones?
Me!